What's cracking, y'all? Thanks for stopping in. The Evolution of King Kong by a YouTube channel called Tell It Animated. First time I'm stepping foot into the zone of this channel, so I'm excited to get into it. With no further ado, let's hop in.
King Kong is the most recognizable ape in movie history. But just how has he evolved in his near century on film? From the 1930s to the modern day, let's take a look at the big ape's evolution. Animated. In his original film, King Kong has constantly shifting fur all over his body, minus a hairless chest. He has a prominent brow, flared nostrils, and sharp canine teeth. He also sometimes has a longer face and a more bare chest. And in super close-ups, his face appears wider with smaller features. He's forced to become a theater attraction, but he escapes, snags his special lady friend, only to be shot down from the Empire State Building. In the sequel, it's revealed Kong had a son. He's much smaller, has all-white fur, and a much happier face. Although to save the life of a shady movie producer, this ape sacrifices himself in flooding water. In King Kong vs. Godzilla, Kong has reddish fur, with bald patches on each of his...
I've always thought this is one of the ugliest incarnations of King Kong.
pecs, prominent cheekbones, thick eyebrows, and is much taller than most iterations of Kong. He is apparently supercharged by lightning, which he uses to fight a radioactive monster, both tumbling into the ocean.
Everyone thought that was BS in that movie, how that came out of nowhere.
Animated series features a more quadrupedal standing Kong with brown fur and stylish hair. This ape also has a best friend, Bobby, with who he goes on adventures. Additionally, this show features the evil Mechani-Kong, a robotic Kong operated by the dastardly Doctor Who. In King Kong Escapes, Kong is less than half the size of his King Kong vs. Godzilla counterpart. His head is bigger, with larger facial features, and he has longer arms and shorter legs. This film also features its own Mechani-Kong, equipped with powerful light bulb eyes and a utility belt full of grenades. Although the second version of him lacks the belt, but does have a hypnotic light on his head to help him fight against the OG Kong. The 1976 remake Kong has dark fur and skin, a small muzzle, and noticeably human-looking eyes. His face also occasionally looks unrecognizably round. This Kong is creepily attracted to his special...
So this was the Kong I grew up with. This was my introduction to King Kong. And let me tell you, this animation doesn't do it justice of how terrifying this version of Kong looks in the live action movie. And his roar was so chilling and terrifying. Scared the hell out of me.
Lady friend. And when taken off his island, he is forced to become a mascot for a greedy oil company. But he breaks free, scales the Twin Towers, and is shot down, presumably killing him. But in the sequel, it's shown Kong is being kept alive in a coma. This film also introduces a more red-furred Lady Kong, who is used to give Kong a blood transfusion, allowing an artificial heart to be placed inside of him. This time, Kong is a little taller, has longer hair, a more pronounced chest, a longer face, and his eyes look less human. He and Lady Kong run off together, only for the military to shoot him down. But before he passes, he's able to see his just-born offspring, Little Kong. The Mighty Kong features another cartoon Kong with a bulging torso, rounded muzzle, and despite the poster showing him as all brown, this Kong has gray skin and dark fur. Like usual, this Kong falls from the tallest building in New York, but this time...
Talk about false advertisement.
He gets to survive his fall. Kong in the animated series features a muscular build, a blue-toned coloring, longer arms, and a tiny head. Although in his final outing, his look would be more streamlined with a larger head. Notably, this Kong can meld minds with his human brother, which boosts his intelligence and allows him to double in size. The 2005 King Kong looks largely like a silverback gorilla, with noticeable scars and large protruding teeth. This Kong is easily entertained, but much like his original counterpart, is no match for bullets and a 1,400-foot fall. Kong, King of the Apes, features a more stylized young Kong, who then grows into an adult. In the second season, he's given a slight redesign with pinker skin. This Kong wears laser-proof arm bracers and occasionally rides a giant jetpack. In Kong Skull Island, Kong has great posture. His fur is light brown, and he has prominent scarring on his chest. This Kong defends his island's visitors from his unruly neighbors. In the follow-up, Kong is much larger, has darker fur, and a salt and pepper beard. He also now yields a fancy dorsal fin axe to help him face off against the king of the monsters, only to team up and take down an even greater threat, proving once and for all that Kong really is the king of the apes.
That was awesome, yeah. If you haven't went and checked out the 1970s live-action Kong, highly recommend it, man. Hey, maybe I'm just nostalgic with it, but that was a terrifying mofo. That roar was crazy. I remember the first time watching it. That fool came out the woods, went into the little area, took the old girl. I was like, yo. And through all of it, and then watching him get shot down and bleeding and his heart beating, felt bad for a mofo. Yo, I'm assuming this channel has done a Godzilla one by now. And if that's the case, the Godzilla one has got to be like 15 to 20 minutes long. Godzilla has far more different versions than King Kong. Like, the Godzilla history is super rich, live action and animated. So I'm assuming they would have done a Godzilla by now, but if they haven't, got your work cut out for you. And I'm loving the new Kong right now in the MonsterVerse. He's awesome. But I wish they would they're going to keep milking this Godzilla versus King Kong team up because of money. But I would like to see Kong go off on his own adventures, no Godzilla, and us get a dedicated Godzilla movie again. Because I truly feel like in Kong vs. Godzilla and Godzilla x Kong, that's what it was called, right? I just felt like it was definitely more King Kong centric than it was Godzilla. And I get it. Kong's more relatable to us, so it's easier to build a story around him. Emotions, everything else involved, right? It's an emotional creature. It's a mammal. So it's a monkey. But man, we need a dedicated Godzilla movie with no Kong, please. That's all I gotta say about it. Sound off in the comments section. That's a wrap for today's episode. I appreciate each and every one of you for stepping in, showing your love, showing your support, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Now, I could sit here and smack you all around with the generic like, comment, subscribe BS, but nobody gives a damn about that. So do whatever the hell you want to do, because you're going to do it anyway. Now, I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead. I am Boo, and I am out.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.